So hello everyone and welcome to NileTESOL Learning Technologies SIG Live event. So this is our August event, the monthly event. And today the event is entitled Teaching STEM with EdTech. And we're so excited because this event is for the first time in collaboration with TESOL Kuwait. So our first presenter, Mary, is from TESOL Kuwait. So this is the first collaboration between NileTESOL and TESOL Kuwait. So that's really exciting, and we're very excited about it. So I would like first to start by thanking the British Council for hosting the event. And we have Mona Hassanein from the British Council, Senior Teacher Training, who is going to start the event telling us a little bit about the British Council training events. And then we're going to kick off the event with an intro about NileTESOL SIGs and then our sessions, okay? So the floor is yours, Mona.
Hello, hello everyone. Happy to be with you today. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes. All loud and clear.
Okay, clear. So I'm going to share my screen. I first just wanted to say hello, introduce myself. I am Mona Hassanein, the external teacher training lead, British Council Egypt. And I'm here to walk you through the very interesting teacher training opportunities we're offering this year. So the first one is the online CELTA, and this, for the first time in Egypt, has been launched, this happened last May, and we had participants from both Egypt and the UAE, and we had tutors based in the UK, another one in Spain, and a fourth one in Egypt. And luckily, it went very well. It proved successful. All right, and then we had we currently have four 5-week intensive courses planned for the year, and one 10-week part-time course available. So if you would like any more information about the CELTA online and about anything to do with the CELTA, of course, you can go to our go to our website, and you can use the link that you can see on the screen now. So this is all about the CELTA. Then we have something very interesting that we're offering this year as well. And this is called the Make Your Own Course program. So what's Make Your Own Course? How can you make your own course? What does this entail? Let's take a look. So here you go. So actually, Make Your Own Course is a 3-week teacher training program that provides English language teachers with a variety of online training sessions. And you get a certificate at the end as well, which is really cool. And we have different topics. So we cover different areas of teaching English. So there's teaching pre-primary students, the very, very young learners, below 6 years old, and we have teaching primary students 6 to 11. We also have sessions for teaching teens and teaching adults, and also this year, in response to COVID-19, we have a few sessions on how you could teach online, and also we have a couple of sessions on teaching SEND students. So how can you make your own course? You simply take a look at the sessions, you choose a minimum of 7 sessions to make your own course. So we have around 30 sessions, okay? And then you can choose the ones that are relevant to your context and to the age group you teach, okay? And this is the first option, choose 7 sessions or more and make your own course. If you're not interested in doing a whole course, you can just choose a few sessions, a minimum of 2 sessions, and you will still get a certificate from the British Council. The session duration is 1.5 hours, okay, and it costs £150. So very nice offer this year. Right. So the next round of the course starts next Sunday, the 23rd. And actually, the registration deadline is tomorrow. Okay. So if you are interested, you can register through the following link that you can see on the screen, or you can use the code, the QR code that you can also see on the screen. So once you register, we will contact you, we'll send you further details about the sessions, and you'll be invited to a very short, quick, friendly chat, not a real interview, not a serious interview, just a simple one. And if you meet the English language requirements for the course, you start the course with us on Sunday. So we'll be waiting for you, hopefully. So if you have the time, I think we'll have a lot of fun on this one. Okay?
Thank you so much, Mona. And I have posted the link for everyone in the chat. So if you want to join the Make Your Own course, you need to do that today or tomorrow before the deadline. Yes. And also the link for the CELTA courses. Thank you so much, Mona. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ayet. Thank you, Ayet.
Thank you. Okay, so I would like just to tell everyone that the NileTESOL LTSIG team, Asma, Hiba, and Ghada will be in the chat helping you if you need anything. And now, introduce Ghada Wasif, our LTSIG steering committee member, to introduce the event and our speakers. Ghada?
Thank you, Ayet. Hello, everybody. Inshallah, today you will find it an interesting session full of beneficial information. Let me start with a short introduction to our SIGs and our, I wonder if you can see my screen. Okay, we have 7 NileTESOL SIGs, and actually today we have the honor and pleasure to announce we have also a new SIG. It is a research SIG, and we have a teacher education SIG, young learner SIG, and all of these SIGs we'll talk about in details. Now, I would like also to let you know the NileTESOL special interest groups, or SIGs, are the lifeblood of the NileTESOL. It is our president is president is Dr. Ghada Abul Hassan, and Dr. Samira Omara is our SIG chair. Okay. Let's start by our Learning Technology Special Interest Group, LTSIG. We have the honor to be members of our SIG and bringing forward the state-of-the-art learning technology applications and helping all teachers to manage teaching online easily. This is our main objective. We have also the Teaching English to Young Learners SIG. It is led by Ms. May Isa. The TEYL SIG is a platform where all members who are interested in young learners can find their help and support. We have also English for Specific Purposes, ESP SIG. The manager of it is Dr. Marwa Garwani. It serves all needs of Egyptian teachers, the curriculum developers, and they are also interested in designing and delivering the English courses for programs for individuals with certain academic and specialized goals. We have also our EIE-SIG. It is administrated by Maha Hosni. They also support teachers who are interested in English courses and with special needs. Our SIG now is TE-SIG. The moderators are Azza Abdullah and Mahmoud Salim. It is exchanging experiences with teachers, sharing their knowledge with them, and they are mainly interested in opportunities for teachers, educators, and ESOL teacher educators. Testing and Assessment SIG is open to language professionals, and it is administered by Mustafa Yusuf and Mona Mirsel. And we have also PWSI SIG, which is promoting recognition, and it is administered by Ahmed Samir and Ahmed Shalabi. All our SIGs are mostly interested and aiming at helping teachers all over the world, not only in Egypt, and we wish you get the most beneficial information and help you develop your career with offering free support and limitless um, support to our teachers. Okay, Ayat?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Okay, now let's go ahead and introduce our presenters. Today's event is mainly addressed to teachers of STEM. Okay, and today we have our presenter, our first presenter. She's Mary Sebastian, and she's an English teacher at the Ministry of Education in Kuwait. She holds an MA in English and another MA in Education, with a teaching career that spans over 31 years in India and in Kuwait. She has recently published 2 articles which suggest possible ways for schools on dealing with the current epidemic disease and the online classes. She also presented a workshop in TESOL Kuwait annual conference. Mainly interest is professional development. Okay, Mary, if you're ready to go.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Hello. Welcome, Mary.
I can see some people have joined from India also.
That's great.
Yeah, so this is actually me sitting in Kuwait, talking to teachers in Cairo, Egypt, and India, and UAE. So we are interconnected globally, right? You all agree with me? I need some interaction, otherwise I will feel that some of you have gone off to sleep, because in Kuwait it is 9 o'clock and in India it's 11:30. Egypt, I think it's 8:30 now. The topic today is, the topic that has been given to me is, let me share my screen with you, STEM technology, STEM teaching. Before I start, a warm welcome to everyone. It is a weekend and tomorrow we all have to go to work. I think you can see my photograph and Mr. Waleed's photograph there. Before I get the ball rolling, can you tell me, what do you understand by the word STEM? STEM. Anybody? You can put your mics on. I don't like mute mics. What do you mean by, what does the word STEM mean to you? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word STEM? Just STEM. I'm not talking about STEM teaching. I'm not talking about education. I'm just talking about the word STEM. What does it mean?
Maybe the stem of a plant?
Exactly, the stem of a plant. Who gave the answer? Who was the student who answered? I would like to know. Who gave me the answer?
Who said the answer?
Yes, it's me, Ghada.
Okay, I am giving you a round of applause for answering it. STEM. STEM is...
Oops. Mary? Hello?
Somebody is muting me. Somebody is muting me.
Sorry, maybe there's a tech problem. You can go ahead now. Sorry.
Okay, the STEM is the root.
No.
As the teacher
You're
said.
back. You're back.
Yeah, the STEM, as the teacher said, is the root. The stem of education, or the root of education, has to be very strong for students, children, and good citizens. And as teachers, we have an important role to play in it. We cannot leave the responsibility of educating our children on society, on the government, on parents, because it is primarily teachers who play an important role here. So STEM education, STEM teaching, is science, technology, engineering, and math. How many of you are good in science? Are you good in science?
Not very here.
Okay. How many of you are technologically advanced people? I think most of us in this particular time, in this particular pandemic, we have all become techno-savvy teachers because we are teaching online. You all agree with me? Earlier, we were not so technologically advanced, but
Yes.
now we know various apps, we know various programs, we know a lot of things to make our lessons creative. I had never heard of Big Blue Button, but we recently used Big Blue Button for our classes. We are all aware with Microsoft Teams and Zoom, but I was not aware of Big Blue Button. It was something which was new to me. So now as teachers, we can say we are technologically advanced. We are not engineers. Do we say we are engineers? We are engineers because we are molding our children. We are creating a children that a child that is going to be important in society. And there is somewhat math involved here. So STEM education is very important. Now, rather than teaching STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, we also have something else attached to it, that is arts. So STEM is now become STEAM. It is an educational approach to learning that uses science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. Now, as an English teacher, I would say I don't have to teach science or I don't have to teach technology. I don't need to know maths. I don't need to know engineering. But STEAM education incorporates everything. It is all in totality. It is science. Students should be scientific. Students should be technologically advanced. They should have an engineering attitude. They should have a fond for arts and mathematics. We cannot leave anything out. All these things in totality make STEAM education. This is a new approach that is there. It is the framework that brings reality into the classroom. Now, how do we bring reality into classroom? If I'm going to talk to a student and tell her a story about, let's say, something which is a tragic, something which is beautiful, unless I show a student a beautiful thing, the student will not understand what is beauty. So STEAM is an educational framework that brings reality into the classroom. We get students to see reality. What is reality? What is life like? We get it into class. That is STEAM educational approach. It connects different subjects to each other in the way they would relate to the business world and each other. Let me tell you one thing. Now, these days, technology and various apps are doing lots of business because teachers, students, parents, everyone is depending on technology. So STEAM or STEM incorporates all together. They are all together. They combine to make the world a better place to live in. And as teachers, we have an important role to play here. Now, what are the benefits of STEAM learning? When I got reality, when I got children to see what is beautiful, when I made them, experience something, what happened? Children started thinking outside the box. Now, before COVID-19, we are all in a state of lockdown. Schools have not started. If I would tell a student what is a pandemic, the student would not understand. But right now, the students are experiencing, teachers are experiencing, and we are all thinking outside the box to make our lessons creative, make our lessons enjoyable. And students are also taking the initiative to participate equally in the class. I think most of you are having online classes. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
what is your experience? What is your experience of online classes? Can anyone tell me?
If anyone would like to unmute their mics and
I want people to answer because
share
it's
the
not going to
ideas.
be, it's not going to be only me speaking. We are going to learn from each other.
Yeah.
What is your experience of online classes? Anyone? Okay, let me tell you my experience. Now, we are using Microsoft Teams in Kuwait. Everything is good. Everything is fantastic. The names are all in Arabic. My students' names are in Arabic. I cannot read Arabic. So I am having a problem here. So I started thinking, how do I identify a particular student? Because I cannot read Arabic. The only way I could identify a particular student was by her civil ID number, which is there on the name list. So every time I look up her name, I have to see the civil ID number and to identify that this is Fatma or this is May or this is Tala. So I started thinking, even I started thinking outside the box. We're always telling students to think outside the box, but as teachers, we have stopped thinking outside the box. We are just focusing on one particular thing. So STEAM learning actually not only makes students creative, but it also makes teachers creative. We start, we have started looking out at innovative ways, creative ideas to make our lessons, you know, interesting. Students should be able to participate. Students should be able to come to our lessons. They should feel interested to understand our lessons, interested to participate in our lessons. Let me ask you one thing. At the beginning of the year 2020, how many of you made New Year resolutions? Did you make any New Year resolutions, or do you not? You don't make any New Year resolutions? Do you make New Year resolutions? Once again, I need people to participate.
Yeah, I guess like people do, yes, though it was different and difficult this year. But has
Okay.
anybody made some? Yes.
Okay.
Naveen
We
says
all made
yes.
we
Yep.
all made some New Year resolution. Definitely some New Year resolution. Maybe I'm going to exercise regularly. I'm going to stop eating junk food. I'm going to do something. But what happened when March came, when February end, what happened to our New Year resolution? We had not anticipated a year which is going to be affected by a pandemic where we are going to be 6 months in a state of lockdown.
Yes, you are right.
You all agree? You all agree with me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So now children are, even small children, a 4-year-old child also knows what is a face mask. A 4-year-old child knows that, we have to keep distance from each other. We have to wash hands. And I'm sure many of the small children know what is corona. We don't have to explain to them because they're hearing everywhere, they're hearing corona, corona, they know it. So children, when they actually see, when they actually experience something, we don't have to do much to explain it to them. They are all aware of their, what is around them, their environment, the surrounding, they're aware of it. As teachers, we have to take this environment, this awareness to our classroom. That is STEAM education. That is STEAM technology. Now, what happens when we are participating as collaborators here? Teachers and students, we are both into the process. It's a creative process. I'm a teacher because of my students. They are students because of teachers. So both of us are parts of the same car. We are both wheels of the same bicycle. We cannot do one without the other. So we have to offer meaningful collaboration. I repeat, it has to be a meaningful collaboration where students are given hands-on learning experience. We are not spoon feeding them now. We are not spoon feeding them now. We let them experience, we let them make, we let them create. Because once they create, once they do themselves, they'll find it is much more interesting. If you have small children at home and you ask a small child to make something, to bake something, let's say your 10-year-old daughter or your 10-year-old son, you ask them or him or her to bake a cake or to bake some cookies. The end product is so satisfactory to the child. This is what STEAM technology is, where we are enabling our children, our students, to be in the creative process. They are equally participating in the creative process. Now, we are all in a state of lockdown. How do we teach STEM at home to our students, our children? First method is to teach with toys. Whether you have sons or daughters, I'm sure each one of them has their favorite toy. Identify the toy with colors, with shapes, with gender. Let them find out what is the color, they have to locate, they have to find out which is the blue car, which is the red car. So teach with toys. Toys are not only meant to be played. Toys are not only meant to be played with, toys are also there to be, you can learn a lot of things from toys. Second is the kitchen. Most of us are spending most of our time in the kitchen. The kitchen is the new classroom. When you take 1 teaspoon of sugar, you tell the child this is 1 teaspoon of sugar, and this approximately, let's say, weighs 2 milligrams or 0 grams. So you're teaching mathematics, you're teaching weights, you're teaching measurement in the kitchen. So the kitchen is now the new classroom, because the school is no longer there. We are all having everything online. So your home, your house, as teachers, as parents, identify what you can do in your house. How can you approach the child with this new technology? I don't know if any of you participated in shadow play. The use of hands, you can explain to small children. You can make the bird, the dog, the bull, all these things. It doesn't cost much. You can explain to the child, and the child also, when it tries out, after much trial and error, the child finally, when he manages to make a shape of an animal, it gives him immense satisfaction. Best out of waste. This is something which is very popular in India and in Kuwait also. We use a lot of waste material that we are going to throw in the garbage to create things. Here, the child is going to examine, engineering will come in. What is the child going to make from it? Art is going to come in, how the child is going to make it. What is the use? What is the scientific method the child is going to use to create, let's say, a flower pot, a pen stand? So best out of waste. This is another way where children can be creative. Drawing. When we start drawing, each one of us is fond of drawing. We've had small children who draw at home on the walls, etc. Drawing is one way of expressing your feelings, your emotions. So encourage children, encourage students to draw something at least once a week. This is something which scares most teachers, coding. I don't know how many of you are exposed to coding. There are lots of online courses for initial beginners of coding. You just go, there are lots of courses which are free. Children start learning coding at a very early age. Actually, when I was preparing this, the earliest age a child starts learning is 6 years, the basics of coding. And coding, when it's applied to education, does wonders. I repeat, it does wonders when coding is applied to education. As teachers, we love to talk, but we don't converse. That's why I said, I want teachers to interact here. It's not only going to be me talking. When we just keep on talking, after a certain point, students get bored. Try to interact with them, try to talk with them, because we learn from their experience. Again, that is, you can get the scientific angle from a student. You can get the mathematical angle from another student, the artistic angle from another student, the technological aspect from another student. You show a shape. Many children will look at the shape in different ways, in different styles. Maybe for you, the shape is, let's say, a flower pot, but the child might say it's a pen stand. Each child, each person looks at the particular image or looks at the particular picture in a different way. So don't just talk to each other, converse with each other, have a dialogue, have a conversation. The STEM approach is all about learning by doing. It's hands-on experience. I repeat, hands-on experience. We tell children how to do it and then let them do it. We show them how to do it and then they do it. So when they learn by doing, they remember it. If the teacher is just telling something, you do this, the child might forget it. But when the child practices or does by himself or herself, the child will never forget in his lifetime. There is a famous saying, if you teach me fishing, I will remember it all my life. But if you give me a fish, I might forget you. So teach the child how to do it, and then insist on hands-on learning. Now, as English teachers, we are all TESOL, this is English language. How can I use STEAM in my classroom? That was the first question which came into my mind, because I'm not fond of science, I'm not fond of technology, I'm not a mathematical person, that's why I took up English, and I don't have an engineering aptitude. How can I use this? I can use this. One particular survey says when we are doing reading, when we are conducting reading, a passage is given to the student and the student identifies and evaluates argument. This is scientific. Identifies and evaluates arguments from each and different aspects. Each and everyone identifies and evaluates arguments from their aspect, from their perspective. That is scientific. Then they use technology to put it. Technology is used these days to upload assignments, to submit assignments, to share assignments, to share PPTs. What we are doing right now, we are using technology to speak to each other across the borders. So we are using technology can also be used in English. And project-based learning. Project-based learning, you give a particular student a particular topic and let the child form groups. Let the child get into groups, and as a group-based activity, they present a project-based learning where each child identifies what they are going to present. So it's a collaboration, it's teamwork. Any questions anybody has so far before I move on?
I would just like to point that I really like the idea that you talked about when you said listen to the children and see how they see things, because it might be something for me and that child might see it in a different way. So it's very important. This is something that we sometimes don't really pay a lot of attention to, is to listen to the child, to our students, and see how they see things, or invite them to share their ideas instead of just like talking and telling them what this thing is or how this thing works. And also collaboration. So project work and like all group work that we work on is actually enhancing or working on the aspect of STEAM, or even that collaborator that can be a startup for the STEAM teaching.
Exactly, I agree with you. There is a recent, research by an Indian scientist who said, and he has proved it. This was presented in WHO. He says 4 billion people on the planet use a mobile phone. I repeat, 4 billion people on the planet use a mobile phone, while only 3.5 billion people use a toothbrush. So the people who are using mobile phone outweighs the people who use toothbrush, because not necessarily everyone cleans their teeth with toothbrush. We have other, natural ways to clean the teeth. But more people, that is 4 billion people across the world, use mobile phones. So technology is incorporated with education. You cannot, separate technology from education. We were used to, the initial years when I started teaching 3 decades ago, we were using chalk and duster. I think many of you teachers were using chalk, duster, and blackboard. Then we moved to the whiteboard, and then we moved to the smart board, and now we have moved to the online teaching. So see the transition that we've had from the blackboard, the chalk and the duster to online teaching. The same way, educational concepts keep on changing. And as teachers, we need to update ourselves always, always. We cannot say, I have so many years of experience, I'm done. No, teaching is never done, because remember, children are updated. The children have information at the click of a button. So if you are outdated, children are over smart. They are smarter than us. Use technology, use all these subjects, science, technology, engineering, all these subjects to make your lessons interesting. Don't make lessons boring. And STEAM technology, STEAM approach makes lessons always, interesting, because, there is a common communication, there is a constant communication between the teacher and the students. Anybody has any other comments to say before the last point? I just want to make one more point before anybody has anything else to say to clarify.
No, thank you, Mary.
Okay. Do you know, in another 20 years, most probably we'll be stepping onto Mars. We might be reaching Mars. People are already trying to find out, they want to reach Mars. So the future is here, because we have reached, we are almost going to reach Mars. So the future is here, and the future is in citizens who are fluent in science, technology, engineering, art, and math. All these 5 in totality is the future today. That's it. Thank you so much. God bless all of you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
We would like to thank Mary for this precious effort, and actually it opens up new scopes and new fields and new thoughts for teachers. Only Waleed has a wide experience in teaching and using technology in teaching, generally speaking, and he is one of our TESOL. He is specialized in linguistics. Waleed has an MA in linguistics, and also Waleed is a Google trainer. He is specialized in training for Google. Let's all welcome Waleed. This session introduces mobile apps originally developed by Google for devices into portable laboratories. It enables the STEM learners to apply a variety of physical and chemical experiments individually and note down the outcome observation authentically. He also will offer a suggestion for many apps would support immensely the students in isolation. Thank you, Waleed. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Ghada. Thank you, Ghada, and thanks to everyone, Ayat and all attendants, all the moderators and the wonderful team behind the LTSIG that, well, I belong to. Hello, everyone. I'm going to build on what Mary has just mentioned, which giving the students the opportunity on doing hands-on experience when teaching STEM. One of the difficulties that we are facing nowadays is that when teaching STEM, they have to apply. So how can they apply when they are doing things online, when education is happening online? So this session is presenting, let's say, portable laboratories that students can use when they are at home. So, and this is something that I believe something really special, and we are going to have some interesting activities together. If you like chemistry and physics, and I'm sure that all of you, because that you are joining this session, which is STEM. So let me share the screen at the moment. All right. Okay, now. Okay, so okay, is everything okay? I guess I can, you can see this, my screen at the moment?
Yes, it is.
Fine.
It was clean.
Okay,
yes, it is clear now.
Okay, so in our agenda, I'm going to stick to 3. So first, we're going to learn about Science Journal, which is an app available on Android and iOS. And that presents that experience of having mobile laboratory for students. Lots of great experiments. We don't have school laboratories happening these days. So they learn online and they practice at home. Not only this, but they can also send the experiments, observations online. And we're going to see how this happens in a little while. The second thing is that we are going to practice ourselves. There is going to be some, let me say, assessment that we are going to do ourselves this session, inshallah. And then I'm going to give you some updates on what Google have for teachers. There are lots of lesson plans that you can go and download. There are lots of interesting enhancements that that supports the students' learning in this time. Okay, let's start with the app, which is proposed a couple of years ago, and it's mainly for STEM. So that gives more than 70 hands-on science activities, physics and chemistry, and we're going to see some of them in a little while. And it's also available on iOS and Android, and all for free, by the way. Does it need a Wi-Fi or internet? No, it doesn't need a Wi-Fi or internet. Just use a laptop or an Android device, a tablet, or an iPad. And if they need to share the observation and the notes that they took, they can simply do that to the LMSs that they are using, whether they are using Moodle, Classroom, or any other LMS. There are lots of interesting activities. This is, by the way, a screenshot that I took from the app. It uses what the hardware features that are built in our devices. So when we buy a phone, there are lots of great hardware, and we can use them in education. Why don't we do it? Actually, more than 70 experiments can be happening. So it uses the accelerometer, the barometer, the compass, the magnetometer. It also checks the light, the pitch, and lots of interesting things. Okay, so let me give you this short video, and you are going to see it. Okay, to see how things happening now. Okay, just for a minute. This is for physics. Okay, that's the accelerometer. Okay, and you can show this to your students, by the way. I love this game. By the way. Hello.
Hi, Waleed.
Yes,
I think we
think
lost you.
Am I back? I guess it's the
Yes.
actually I'm using two laptops because I don't like to lose you. Okay. Right. Okay. This one is related to chemistry. I'm going to just play. This is for chemistry. Okay. Now we can see it. Can you see this chemistry experiments, by the way?
you need to share again.
Okay, I'm gonna second, just a second. Okay. Is that okay now?
Yes, it is working now.
Okay. Have you seen the physics? Okay, we're not going to see lots of stuff, but this one is related to light and motion again, but it uses interesting way of doing it. See, these are all chemical substances, and they can create all these diagrams, the fluorescence. Okay, and then you use the phone this way. And this is such innovative way of using your mobile phone as a laboratory in your pocket. Okay, let's do this, by the way, together. So I have my phone connected to my laptop. I'm going to mirror it right now. Let's experiment this now. If you have the ability to download the app at the moment, because we are going to try it ourselves. So let me share the screen now on the other device. Just a second. So I have to stop sharing and then use my other screen. Alrighty. Okay. Okay. I guess you can see my phone at the moment. Can you see my phone at the moment? Hello?
Yes, we can see it, Waleed. Yeah.
Okay, this is my phone, and I'm going to do some experiment with you right now. I have the app already installed. By the way, I'm not using a Wi-Fi. This is not connected to the internet. Just make sure that show how it works. So you open the app after you install it, and then you press that plus button below, and then you have a variety of experiments right now. So you click on that button there, and you have a lot of interesting experiments that you can go for. There is light at the moment, and by the way, it catches the light. Now the light in the room is 33. I'm going to place my finger on the lens and see how it works. It's 0 now. Can you see that? Hello? Can you see that?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, we
it is
can see
clear.
it.
Yeah.
It's back again. It's back again. 12.
Yes.
Okay, I'm getting close.
Do we have a choice, Waleed? Because I opened it now and I have the sound intensity, and it's catching up my sound and your sound, and it's
you just
going
move.
live, which is so exciting. Yes.
It is very exciting, and I'm sure that students will love it, love to work
But
a lot.
where can I
like
find the light and the other ones?
See, see those small icons over there? Just move it using your finger. Swipe to the right and left, see? Because it's not a tablet I'm using just a phone. It has a small screen. So, and this is how it works. So it has lots of interesting stuff. Let me ask a question, by the way, to our attendants.
Waleed, I want also to make sure. Yeah,
Yes,
we want to make sure and tell our attendees that it works offline. So the students don't need to be online or connected to the internet all the time.
Yes, exactly. And does it work with all devices? Yes, almost all Android devices. You don't have to buy an expensive device. You don't need to buy an iPad, for instance. Any Android, any iOS works without a problem. Okay, so let's say that you, as a teacher, taught them something about the magnet fields. Do you think that there is a magnet field for electricity? I'm asking you. Can anybody answer in the chat?
Yes, please. Is there a magnet field for electricity? This is a question to be answered. Waiting for your responses.
Is there a magnet field?
I guess yes.
I think yes.
Okay, by the way, my phone right now is in my hand, and I'm going to make it close to a socket which is placed behind me. You can see the camera, by the way. I'm putting it down at the moment, and you can show this to the students, by the way. They will love it. Okay, you see that? And now it's back.
We lost you. We lost you for a few seconds. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
The magnet temperature is raising, is moving on the.
It goes up. It goes up.
Yeah,
it goes up.
Amazing.
Yeah. And concerning the sound, when you speak, when I speak, see how that vibration, the sound intensity. So they can record that. And you can see that red button below, it will record. And once you record, you can immediately go and write your observation. Now the photo has been taken, and you can say that this is a sound experiment. I'm typing at the moment, experiment. Okay, right? And I can enter and type whatever, let me say, and this is the recording. Let me stop it. Okay, right now it's done. And once I save it to my device, I can share it with my, right now. Okay, let's get back to it and share it with my teacher. It can be an assignment. Students will do the experiment and then they can share it. Oh, I have to get my device connected to the internet. Anyway, now you get the point. You see that those 3 points over there, you can send a copy. You can see it's not active because my phone is not connected to the Wi-Fi connection. Hello? Are you still with me?
Yes, it is clear.
Yeah, Waleed.
Okay, so they can, if my phone, by the way, has a Classroom, which is an LMS now, Google Classroom, and they can have Moodle or Edmodo. In Egypt, I guess the Ministry of Education is now using Edmodo as an LMS. So students can share their notes, their observation to the teacher. And that brings to our minds that we should have hands-on experience. When we have STEM for teaching, even if we're teaching online, still there are different ways. Let me share something really interesting. This is the website, which is Science Journal. I'm going to share it with you in the chat, sciencejournal.withgoogle.com. It has plenty. Let me go to that chat. Okay, I'm going to place it in the chat box right now for everyone to see it. It has lots of lesson plans, brilliant ideas that you can use, and lots of games, by the way, too. And lots of games that you can ask your students to use when they are in this difficult time, okay? And whether you are teaching face-to-face or online, I'm sure that will bring interesting experience, and of course it will promote learner autonomy. So you can go down here and go and select for the 4 teachers. There's a 4 teacher tab. Okay. Okay, and you can see plenty of resources. Is that okay? I'd like you to go through them and let's share, let us know some of your experiments and your success stories and how students interact with such a thing, right? So let's do it together at the moment. I created this Excel sheet, which is something similar to Excel. Actually, it's a Google Sheet. And I'm going to share it with you. So you can make an experiment at the moment for a few minutes and then enter the name, your name and the type of experiment that you did and what your observation is. Okay, let me share the link with you. Okay, I'm done with my mobile phone now. Sorry, here, where is the link? Okay, there's the chat box. This is the link. Okay, if you're able to use the application at the moment, if you have downloaded it on your mobile phone, please go and try some experiment, whether it is chemistry, physics, whatever, motion, and please tell me, and you can, by the way, add your observation right now. Okay.
Great.
Okay, Waleed, may I? Yep, Reda, go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay, I wanted only to suggest that you could use your mobile or another connection in order not to lag your Zoom. I'm talking to the attendees in case they want to try the apps.
Yes, good advice, Ghada. Thank you.
Okay, you wanted to say something?
Thank you.
Yes, Waleed, I just want to try it with you, and maybe if anybody else would like to unmute the mics and see. So Waleed, when I clicked on the plus, as you said in the mobile app, it took me to that sign, and it seems like everything is physics here. So how can I move to chemistry or other things?
You're asking about how to get started, right?
Yeah, maybe step by step
Okay.
so that people
Let
can
me,
follow with us.
okay, let's do it again. Okay. Okay, this is the main screen that you have. Once you open the app for the first time, if the student has already used or has done some experiment, it will show as cards. See, I've done already once. So there is a sound experiment, as you can see here, this card, all right? And you can see all details inside. So this is, you can see all the readings, and if you'd like to share it, you can go there and share it. Can you see that share button over there? But actually, I don't have a Wi-Fi connection at the moment on my
Yeah,
phone.
fine. That's
So
fine, yeah.
I guess everyone get the idea. Let's go for another experiment, okay? Let's say a light experiment. That's easy, okay? So here you can see that there are 4 buttons in the middle. Okay, I'm going to swipe up so you see what's happening. Okay, because you can do 2 things. You can have an experiment happening, and at the same time, the student is note-taking something else. You see that? It's really interesting. So you have that observation, and it says here, add your observation. And here, the list of experiments. It starts with the ambient light in lumens, of course. And then there is the sound, okay? And then you move on to the accelerometer. Now you see how unstable that thing is. I'm shaking, by the way, the device in my hand right now. Okay, this is another motion, but it goes side to side. Okay. So actually, one of the interesting games that you can play with your students, by the way, or you can ask them to do it, they called it ninja game. So every student will hold their phone and try to move from one point to another without moving his hand. So just keeping it as stable as possible. So don't shake your hand, just move only your legs. Of course, young kids it will be difficult for them, I'm sure. But it's very interesting experiment, and it will definitely link what they're learning in school with their life. And of course, there are lots of interesting ideas that you may come up with. And I'm sure that our life is rich with lots of interesting surroundings that we can make use of, especially when teaching STEM, right? Okay, this is the
And
light.
is that the like the button, the red button at the bottom is recording,
This
so
one
they
will
can record the
record.
experiment? Okay.
Okay, let me click it now, and it will record. Okay, now start recording. So if I'm going to put my finger on the lens, okay, there is no light. It will turn to 0. You can see that. Okay, now it's back again. That's the lumens, by the way. It's 20 in this room, which is not very high, by the way, I believe. Okay, once done, you can stop it, and then you can share it. Okay, of course you can enable some audio so students can comment on his or her experiment. Okay, and so on. Okay, and here I'm going to enter some observation, well, anything they can type, and the readings and all these things. And I'm sure it will be lots of fun, not only to the students, but also to the teachers, I'm sure. Okay, so has anyone tried it, by the way? I'm waiting. Hello.
I did try it. I were limited, but this app, and especially if you're saying it can work again offline, then that's another issue that we are that we usually face. But now we can solve it with this. So it's really exciting to get the students. They can work again. It works in face-to-face and in online classes.
Yes.
So,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And in Egypt at the moment, every student has a tablet. So they can bring their tablets to the school and they can experiment. It will be really fun. So they don't have to go to the school's laboratory. They can do it inside the classroom. Yeah, it will be
Yeah, and I think if
interesting.
we, yeah, and I would like to ask our audience here, do you have any ideas that we can, that from what Waleed showed us now, that we can use in our English language classes, not in our science classes? I do have an idea, but I would like to listen to our audience if they have any idea.
Yeah, please.
Yes, Yumna, would you like to share your idea or?
Yeah, great. Yeah, she has a good idea. Would you please unmute yourself, Yumna, and go ahead? Because this is really interesting.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah,
Hi,
welcome.
Yumna.
Yeah, hello. Well, actually, concerning the because I used to teach ESP in the college, so I guess maybe we can introduce something like that to our students. Let's say the undergraduate students, or even like the school students, school level students. Maybe we can let them do an experiment, a scientific experiment, and let them talk about this experiment using the new terminologies and the vocabulary,
Exactly.
and how yeah, what exactly did they do. So they are going to use maybe the past tense in order to describe something that happened in the past, that they did yesterday maybe, or the day before, or if they are going to explain something to their students, so they to their colleagues, so they will tell them about the experiment, and they will tell them maybe using the future aspect and the present tense. So it's a collaboration between the grammar, vocabulary, and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
very,
Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much, Yumna. That's really exciting and really nice because again, ESP teachers, I know how they do look for resources a lot, and they do try to get how to get English in the classroom and then relate it to what their students are studying or teaching. So yes, that's a very useful idea. Niveen,
Yeah.
would you like to share something, or Emanuela? You can unmute your mic. Niveen? If anybody would like to unmute their mics and tell us about how they think they can relate what Waleed or what Mary shared earlier, maybe, again, in our English
So
classes. So I
Nadine has
think,
a problem with her mic, and she suggests to use it in explaining the steps of an experiment.
okay, nice. Yeah,
Okay.
Emanuela, if you'd like to unmute. Thank you so much, Niveen.
Interesting. Okay, again, I'm just stressing on one interesting thing that we have here, that this website, which is again made by Google, sciencejournal.withgoogle.com. I already shared it on the chat box. It has already lots of interesting resources, lots of lesson plans, lots of ideas. Please go and check them out. So you can bring them to your students if you are teaching at the moment online. Let them have some fun. So, and I'm sure that they will love that. Okay. And of course, don't forget to share some of your success stories on our Facebook page. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Waleed. May I
Thank you,
ask you, Mary,
Ayat, and
to
thank you,
come on
Ghada.
camera And
hello,
our
hello.
Yes,
Thank
Niveen.
you. Yeah, I fixed my my mic. Sorry, I'm a French teacher, and I'm very happy to attend this Zoom. Thank you, Waleed. It's very interesting, and I hope, hopefully, we can have it in French too. And I will to see it in French too.
It is in French. So
That's
what I
very
did,
good. That's very
let
good.
me tell you one thing, by the way. A couple of days ago, I switched my phone to Arabic. And Arabic is one of the languages which is somehow difficult. I mean, difficult in terms of coding. This is on phones. And automatically, the application has shifted to Arabic.
Oh,
So all experiments were written in Arabic.
This is
So
very
I'm sure
good.
that French is already
Thank you.
there. Yeah.
So there
Thank
may
you,
be a
Waleed.
French also.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate
It's a
your
fourth
effort. Thank
language.
you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Niveen. It's really nice to hear that a French teacher is joining us and she's found the STEM ideas useful. That's really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's really good, Waleed, that you're saying it's in Arabic, because we get lots of questions whenever we do training, teachers asking, is this app available in Arabic or no, or it's only English? So it's good to know that it has Arabic again as well. Yeah. Good.
Yep.
And actually, also, Ayat, it reinforces the tendency to use authentic material, since we can get the authentic material and teach English through it also. So it's really beneficial. Yeah.
Right. You're right. Good.
And let me ask a question if no one is asking me. So can you remember how many types of experiments you can do it with that app? I've mentioned that at the beginning of the session. So can you type it in chat if anyone can remember? How many? Let's give a number. Can someone say a number?
Well, I joined late.
Okay.
So I don't
So
know.
can you guess?
Maybe someone
can you guess
can help
5?
me.
Someone wrote 5.
5
yes,
online.
Yes, 5.
Emanuela, would you like
goes
to
higher? It's
say something?
more than that.
Well,
Waleed, I think
at the beginning,
we have someone.
I have mentioned that.
I want to know.
70.
Yeah.
70.
7
More than
or
70
7?
experiments.
Oh my goodness.
Imagine. 70. More than 70 experiments.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
It is.
Extraordinary. Yeah. And there is the heat test, by the way, but I didn't like to use it.
No, let's keep it. Let's keep safe now.
Yeah. I'm not checking the temperature only.
Oh.
Yeah. So it plays with this. You have a phone that is equipped with lots of sensors. It uses the sensors. So for the educational purpose. And this is what's behind the app. And it's all made for free.
For free and not connected to the internet all the time. So you have the tools to learn at home, anywhere, in the kitchen, in the garden. So
This is great.
Thank you.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So now let's say that if you have any questions for our presenters, now it's open for our attendees to join in. And if you have any questions, if there is anything that you'd like to tell us about the event, and also Asma, our steering committee member, is going to share with you a link to the feedback form. Would you please fill it in and let us know how did you find the event today? And there are lots of other questions about our future events as well. Okay, so if you have any questions.
So you're all welcome to unmute yourselves or turn on your cameras. It's time for discussion and asking questions.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Dr. Yusraya.
Yes, Yumna, what do you want us to share? Other apps, okay. I think Waleed can share that as well. Asma, can you please post the link on the chat to everyone?
Okay, done.
Thank you.
So in the chat box, you will find a link to give us your feedback. We are looking forward to hear from you. And if you can just shoot a video and express your feedback and talk about what could you use these tools for.
Yes, thank you for the reminder, Ghada. So yes, if you would like, if you're interested in like recording a video telling us, and if you've joined our previous events as well, telling us about how you find our events or what would you like to see in the future. If you've applied any of the tools that we've been sharing in our events, how do you find them? So that would be a very good testimonial for us. Is Veronica from TESOL Kuwait still here?
Veronica?
I think no.
Hello.
Right?
Okay. So is Mary still there?
Yes,
Mary?
I'm here.
Yeah, Mary's here with us.
Yeah, so we'd like to put these two sessions together side by side, and I'm sure that they are integrating together. So you were talking about how teachers should be supporting students with the critical thinking point. And you also give some hints on having that hands-on experience, which is very important when teaching STEM. And this is something that should shape the philosophy in teaching STEM in general. Am I correct?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yep, exactly.
So how do you think, Mary, we could use Waleed's tool on your approach?
Actually, we have to all try what Mr. Waleed has said, because we did try just now. And some of us succeeded, some of us did not succeed. So once we try hands-on experience, when we try it, only then we'll be able to do. I will be able to say, because I tried and I did not get it in the first attempt, only on the second attempt I got it. So similarly, students
so
also,
it worked. So it worked.
It worked. No, it worked.
So
it worked.
As
So
a teacher, you have
also.
to try and make sure that everything is working. And if your phone is working, that means it will work.
Everything is working. Everything is working.
Yeah. Glad.
So 4 billion people phones are working. That means everything is working. If the toothbrush is not working, it's not important here. The phone should be working.
Exactly.
Yeah, I will definitely apply this. I will definitely apply this.
And I'm sharing with all of you an event coming up for TESOL Kuwait as well that Veronica shared earlier. So you can register for the events, and she mentioned the 3 sessions. One of them is on ESP. So if I don't remember who was it, if was it Niveen or?
I can tell you it is Anne Newman.
Okay. Yeah, but I mean, like there is one about ESP, Yumna, yes, if you're interested, and there is one on Toastmasters, right?
Yes, correct.
And there is another one as well, right?
There is one on HSP to teach students about plagiarism.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so that's the 29th of August. If you'd like to attend these events as well, you can join, register through the link in the chat. Good.
And if you find yourself also having an experience and you would like to share your precious experiences with other people, would be happy to hear from you. You can fill in a link, a form, in order to join us and present your experience in a lecture. Okay, any questions for Waleed or Mary or general
I can see a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I can see a question from Safa. Yeah, it's how to integrate science, math, and English.
Yep.
So would anyone would like to answer that question? That is from Safa Subhi. Okay.
So I think Mary like shed light on something like this in her session, yeah?
It is like, when you have an English, let's say an English passage, when the students are reading something, they apply scientifically, the scientific method, the mathematical method, and then they write it in English. They think scientifically, apply the mathematical approach, and they report it in English. So science, maths, and English is incorporated, all 3 together. All 3. I actually read something about, this prince who was locked up in some castle somewhere, and how did he use the STEM method, He thought scientifically how he could get down the castle. He calculated the number of steps, and then he yelled out to his soldiers where he was. The phrases he used was, asking them to help him. So he used science, scientifically how to get off the castle, how many steps to get down, and what is the code that he's going to give to his soldiers to ask them to save him. So all these three can be incorporated in language also. It's not that they are going to be in total by themselves. They are all
Exactly.
together. They're all together.
Yeah, and also the Ministry of Education nowadays is launching a new curriculum that's called Connect, which is locating all subjects together, science, math, and English. They are all cooperating together to give a product that is integrated and efficient.
And similarly, if we ask the students to write a report or a short, let's say, paragraph, based on an experiment or based on a theory, a physical experiment or physics experiment or something like this, of course, we are doing that integration. And at the same time, we are promoting their critical thinking. So it's all happening at the same time.
Yeah, and it is also considered a discovery-based learning.
Exactly. Yep. Okay, any other question?
I think the feedback form, we are not able to fill in because we cannot edit it. If you just check the feedback form.
Yeah, we are checking it.
All right.
So we're gonna share the link, yes. Is this one working? If there is a problem with the link, we're gonna share it with the live video. So you will find it on our page. No worries.
Hello,
That
dear.
would be much better. Yep.
Okay.
The form you are sharing from inside, you just make a preview for the link and take the URL from the upper part.
Okay.
Because you are sharing the link from inside, you are a creator, so you get the link from inside.
Exactly. It's quite difficult to fill the form.
Anyway,
Because we are
make a preview for the form and take the link from the upper part, from the URL.
Thank you for
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Yusreya.
Can you try this one? I think it's working well, this one. Okay. Good. So if you don't have any questions, I would like to thank Mary, Sebastian. Very
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much, Waleed, for the presentation as well. Thank you, Ghada, Asma, and Hiba for your help. And thank you everyone for joining. You will find the live on our Facebook page, the NileTESOL LTSIG page. And we're gonna upload on our YouTube channel as well and send you the link, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you. Good night.
Okay, see you.
See you in next event.
Sure.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Bye.
Thank you. God bless you. Good night.
the previous events, many people said that they wanted more time to try different tools, and that the sessions are a little bit like short for, they need more time to try the tools themselves and experiment with them. So yeah, something like what Natasha did today, but we're going to be doing them in workshops. So we're going to do workshops, a workshop every month, and we'll see if you are interested and would like more. So this will be like hands-on practice on different tools. The first one will be after Eid. We're going to announce it in August. So it will be a longer session where you're going to experiment in a tool and use it and do something during the session yourself. So stay tuned for this. Okay.